I'm not sure. My guess was it was criminal. I have no idea. It
Okay, so
sounds
it's like a crime show of some
like
sort, right?
yeah, yeah.
And you're playing who?
Mia.
And Mia is who? What's happening in the scene?
Um, so Mia, my brother is technically, well, he's in trouble and he's currently in hiding, and people think he murdered somebody, and I know he's not a murderer. And Lorenzo, who's a cop who we knew each other when we were younger, comes in and is questioning me about Kiko, who's my brother.
And Lorenzo, what are you questioning her about? What do you want to know?
I want to know where Chico's at. Like, I want to know where her brother is right now.
Why is that?
Because he's in trouble, and he actually is wanted for he has a target on him for killing somebody.
Do you think that he killed somebody?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
But you've known the family, so I mean, from your perspective, you know, if you think that he probably killed the guy.
Well, then again, I don't think I know yet, though. Actually,
okay, that's the choice I would make. If it was me, I mean, I would go, I'm not sure. But either way,
yeah, I don't know yet.
I better get to him first, because if I don't get to him first and they do, they're going to rip him apart with pliers.
Yeah. He's better off at this moment just being over here with me.
Absolutely. Like, it's at least you'll be in isolation and not being like poked with knives, you know?
No. Yeah. So,
you know, you could be making that choice that I'm not exactly sure. Again, I'm not saying you need to make this choice, but if you make a choice like he's the murderer, you know, then a lot of the stuff that you're saying to Georgia, it may have a slightly different thing, a vibe about it. Like why you're saying what you're saying. Yeah, it's to protect him, but it's also, he's a murderer. And if he's murdered once, he'll murder again. So if you're going, I'm not sure, I think he might be, but I mean, it's not a done deal. Is that kind of the vibe that works for you?
Yeah.
And didn't you just talk to him, Georgia, or something? And he's isolated and you spoke to him on the phone or something, or what?
Yeah, he texted me off a burner phone and said that he's safe and there's nothing to worry about. I don't know where he is, like specifically, but he told me that he didn't murder anybody and he's safe.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Lorenzo, I feel like you're in the White House right now with that chair. It's just, you look so like presidential or like a king or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just not.
I was thinking about it beforehand, but yeah.
Was that the vibe you were going for? Like I'm like.
Well, I didn't know how it was gonna come off.
Very regal. It's very regal.
Absolutely, very regal. I feel like I should bow down. I'm gonna turn off my camera. All right, here we go. So where does the scene take place, you guys?
I'm at work.
Restaurant.
Okay, you're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay, so think a little bit about what's happened before the scene started. You spoke to your brother, you worry about his safety. And Lorenzo, you're kind of like, I'm not sure, but I've known the family and whatever we were talking about is going on with you. And here we go. Remember, time is of the essence. You know, the mob could get to this guy at any moment, Lorenzo. So there is an urgency to this. It's not like we can take our time. In fact, you know, maybe you even had a tip that people may very well know where he is. And I'm not sure if it's right, but either way, I got to find this guy. Your brother's going to be dead. Here we go. Ready? And action.
We having a room check? Gonna buy me a drink? I ain't supposed to drink on the job, but you know I'm gonna take it.
I'm not supposed to drink on a job either. Kiko.
No, I'm not talking to you about my brother.
He's in trouble. I'm guessing you know that already.
He's always in trouble.
Not like this. The one they want him dead for murder.
He didn't kill anybody.
So where is he? Where's he at?
I'm not talking to a cop about my brother. I'm not.
Since when was I just a cop?
You wearing a badge right now?
Mia, you always talk to me. Everybody always talks to me.
Yeah, and you've never worked the block before. You arrested Ramiro Diaz. You shot down someone 8 dealer.
Kiko's in trouble. He's safer with me.
I'm not telling you where he is.
But you do know. You do know where he is. Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. You can't expect me to get it right working the block for the first time. I'm trying to look out for him.
You're not.
Okay. Okay. What time you get off? I'll throw in dinner with a drink.
You can't go from pissing me off to hitting on me.
But we have to do it here because of the discount. Come on. We like dinner.
I'm off at 8.
Very good, you guys. Nice job. Nice job. We're so close. We may even be able to put the scene to bed today. Okay? Because it was really good. Nice job, both of you. Georgia, I really kind of liked how you broke emotionally. It was really, really good to see that. I would say, I want you, when we start the scene again, I want you to think, we're going to get you as emotional as you were in the very end of the scene. And I want you to start that way.
Okay.
Because when he comes here, it throws you, right? Just talking to your brother, cop, family, I don't know what to do. If he asks, I think he's going to ask. So you're walking on a tightrope, trying to stay sane, but don't be so good at it. Does that make sense? So it's okay for you to try to contain it all, but not be so good. Do you follow what I'm telling you?
Yeah, yeah.
So wherever you were at the end of the scene is where I want you to start the scene. And as the scene goes on, that you're just going to raise the ceiling of how messed up you can get. Because I want, scenes tend to be more interesting when there's more conflict and more emotion. So for both of you, this was not an issue of believability, because it was totally believable for both of you. Very good, George. Very good, Lorenzo, as well. Like, very believable. The thing that I would like to add to the scene for you, Lorenzo, is you say, off the block or something, like this is as if it's like, what do you say, working the block or something?
Yeah. Working
so
the block for the first time.
Yeah, so you're talking right now like you have worked the block for 5 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So give me a vibe, like, I'm not even, it's weird for me to even say I'm working the block. Like, it's just bizarre for me to even be doing this and saying that term. You were saying it kind of like, I've said it many times. You understand? So it's there's an element of like learning how to ride a bike, how I do this. How do I navigate working what is that different? How is that different compared to what you were doing before?
How is what?
Well, Georgia, you say to him, you're a cop and now you're working am I saying the correct term, working the block? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So what were you doing before you were quote unquote working the block? Were you just a regular cop or?
Yeah, no, I was just a regular.
So how's it different? How's it different now? What's changed? In other words, your job. What has changed about your job responsibility that Georgia is looking at you different?
What's changed is that I'm getting into investigational.
Okay. So like before you were like driving around in black and white, and now you're like more like
departments.
a detective.
Yeah, no. Before I was giving tickets.
Okay. So it's kind of like,
Okay.
did you see the movie Seven?
Seven.
With Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and you haven't seen it? Okay, so
Yes. It's been a while. It's been a while.
So remember Brad Pitt? It was his first day on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Training Day?
Yes.
Okay, so the same thing with Ethan Hawke and Denzel.
Yes.
There was a newness, a freshness to being on the beat right for the first day that you're not bringing, and I know you can. So I want you to just bring that sort of like hopping in the pool, and I'm trying really hard to do this. I'm still looking. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Georgia, the last thing is like on your end, like when you look at him now. By the way, what I also like from both of you is there was a familiarity between the two of you, like a family history. And it was very confusing for you, Georgia, to know what to do because there's a kindness to him. And I got that from you as well, Lorenzo, that you genuinely cared. But Georgia, on your end, how is he different now compared to what he was before, as far as how you look at him in reference to what can happen to your brother? Because if he was just a cop, if he was a cop just writing tickets, wouldn't it be the same?
He literally arrested somebody from our community that I would never have thought in a million years he would have done.
Okay, so let's stop for a second. Have you guys gotten clear on who this guy is that you arrested and what he did? Because Lorenzo, on your end, I guess I'm wondering, did this guy have it coming?
The dude that got murdered.
The guy that you arrested. She says you arrested blah 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 blah. What is his name, Georgia?
Ramiro Diaz. What
did Ramiro Diaz that caused you to arrest him? Because there could be a quality from you, Lorenzo, going, of course I arrested him. He's a fucking pedophile. What do you expect me to do? Just let him go? I don't care if, what do you want? And then Georgia, you can have a moment where like, okay, you have a point. So I'm just saying you have to get clear. Like, did he wrongfully, arrest him, or Georgia? Or is it just personal because he's from the community and he should have been like leaned on him easier? And you're going, why should I have leaned on him easier when look at what he was doing to children?
Yeah,
Do you understand, Lorenzo? So when she said that, you arrested whatever his name is, there needs to be a response from you like, no shit, thank God I did. And I would do it again.
Because the thing is, I even actually ignore it. And I'm like, Kiko's in trouble.
I'm not getting, again, I don't want it to be the actor ignoring it like you didn't hear it. I want it to be like, well, how could you say that about me? Like I did something wrong. So you can hear it. And she's basically accusing you of doing something wrong by arresting this guy. Do you think you did something wrong?
No.
So make it clear to her with your reaction of like, okay, whatever, let's move on, because that's stupid. I'm not even going to go there with you right now. You didn't see the pictures that I saw in his home. But we'll talk about that later. What's more important is getting your brother safe. Is that work for you, Lorenzo? So
yes.
In other words, it needs to land and then you can choose to leave it alone and move forward. Not just, I didn't even hear it. She just totally bashed you.
Right.
She bashed you by saying, you're not family. You're like running around arresting people from our community because you think you're some great big cop now. You can arrest whoever you want. And you're saying it's not that at all. You're totally you're totally taking what I did and turning it into something evil. And why aren't you thanking me for putting that guy in prison? He raped 3 women. Whatever the hell it is that he did, I would imagine, just based on what I'm seeing in the scene, it was probably pretty awful. Would you think, Georgia? So then why do you attack him for doing it? Because he should have just kind of like, what? What would you have preferred he did?
Will not have done that. Would have been more protective over the community that we all grew up in. And then also the fact that he shot down some 1-8 dealer who's also been a part of our community, like shot down.
What does that mean, shot down?
Gunned down.
So you killed him?
That's how I take it.
What is the line exactly?
You shot
Shot
down
down.
dealer.
You shot down what? What do you say exactly, Georgia?
Someone 8 dealer.
Somewhat?
1-8 dealer.
What is the 1-8 dealer?
I think it's a part of this gang that also is
Okay.
on
have
my
you made,
brother's tail at the same time,
So have you
ironically.
so have you made a choice that this is a gang member from the 1-8? Because
Yeah,
you say the line.
yeah, yeah.
So you have to have a connection to what you're saying. You're saying you shot down somebody from a 1-8 dealer. Why is that?
Oh,
Why is
yeah,
that? So you don't have a personal relationship to the 1-8.
I see what you're saying.
So
Okay.
then maybe from your perspective, maybe this gang or whatever has saved you many times. Maybe in this community, they protected you from some, other gang,
Yeah,
and they protected you, Lorenzo. So how can you do this to them when they protected you when you grew up as a kid in this community? So it'd be like a gang who protected you as children, and now you're an adult, and then you arrest a gang member. And you're going, how can you do that? And you're going, well, because it's wrong what he did. I appreciate the fact that he protected me, but he's a fucking pedophile. So do you understand? So this is why that line is getting lost. So my question to you, Georgia, would be, how did you miss that? You say it.
yeah.
So how did you miss it?
I guess I didn't do what you pointed out. I didn't personalize it enough.
And how do you personalize it? You just ask yourself questions like, what is the 1-8? I say it. So I guess you should probably know what that is. And why does it bother me that he shot a drug dealer from the gang, the 1-8 gang or whatever? Why is that such a problem for you? And I think I would suggest maybe it is kind of what I said to you, that this gang I don't know if that works for you.
Yeah.
So you're looking at him almost like he stabbed them in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Lorenzo, you're going, I didn't stab them in the back. I put somebody who's evil, even though they protected us when we were kids. I put him away because he was going to do it again. But I'm not even going to go there with you. Let's move on. We got to save your brother. Does that work for you guys?
Right.
Yes? So let's just try it once more. We'll see how it goes. And if we get it, we get it. If not, we can work on it more. So I'm going to turn off my camera. Here we go. Remember, just think a little bit about how emotional you were. You see him, Georgia. It's like, remember, you're in your restaurant, you're working. So you can't let it all hang out. You're still trying to smile and be sweet, but it's in your eyes. Your brother's in some little freaking shack somewhere and hiding. He could die at any minute. And Lorenzo, you show up and you see her and it's like, okay, I got to talk to her. I heard somebody from the 1-8 is trying to find him. Action.
We having a rain check. Are you gonna buy me a drink? I'm supposed to drink on the job, but I'm gonna take it.
I'm not supposed to drink on the job either. Kiko.
No, I'm not talking to you about my brother.
He's in trouble. I'm guessing you know that already.
He's always in trouble.
Not like this. 1/8 want him dead for murder.
He didn't kill anybody.
So then where is he?
About my brother. I'm not.
Since when was I just a cop?
You wearing a badge right now?
You always talk to me, Mia. Everybody always talks to me.
Yeah. And you've never worked the block before. You shot down Ramiro Diaz. You shot down someone 8 dealer. You arrested Ramiro Diaz.
Kiko's in trouble. Okay? He's safer with me.
Where he is.
But you do know, right? You do know where he is. Whoa. Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. You can't expect me to know how to work the block for the first time. I'm trying to protect him.
You're not.
Okay. Okay. What time you get off? I'll throw in dinner with a drink.
I'm sorry. You can't go from pissing me off to hitting on me.
But we have to do it here because I want the discount. Come on. We like dinner.
I'm afraid.
Okay, you guys, that was much better. You guys are done. Good job. Way to go. Good job,
It was.
Lorenzo. Really good. Yeah.
I guess, like, did I bring that emotion to the front?
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
feel like I did struggle.
I'm listening. It was so much better for both of you. Like, so much. I just was a lot more intense. My favorite part actually was the second half. Okay, so it felt to me like that's where Georgia. I think sometimes that you get a little bit lost in trying to make sure that you're emotional enough, and so you know I've done this before where I kind of emote. And then there were other moments where you just said, fuck it, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to listen. And then you allow your audience to get in there and figure out on their own that you're emotional.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is when I'm saying to you, hey, I want you to be much more emotional, that has nothing to do with showing me anything. It's all on the inside coming out and you're trying to contain it, which is what you did in the second half of the scene. Whereas maybe in the first part, you might have been, I don't want to say pushing because that's harsh. I'm saying you may have been more aware that you needed to be emotional rather than just receiving and trusting. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I felt like I almost like, oh, I need to be emotional right now because that's going to be emotional. And I'm like,
yeah.
And so I'm overthinking it and like trying to force it instead of just like letting go. Which
when that happens and you have that urge, you have to just deliver it as is.
Got it.
Okay, you're going to have this little side of you that's going, okay, make it more emotional. And now you need to put that urge to fix it into your role and deliver it how you're feeling, even if it's not emotional.
Yeah.
Because that's truth. You have to give me truth.
Yeah.
And that's what you did very well in the second half. That's why I shook your hand, by the way. Otherwise, I would have. You saved it. Okay. Much better as well, Lorenzo. Like I really did feel like you were cared about her, and I felt like this felt to me like it was a little bit more of a new deal. And you also solved an issue which I forgot to bring up, which was when you say the thing about the discount. The first time you did it like you really were serious, like we need to come for a discount because I don't have a lot of money. And this time you did it where it was like you were teasing her a little bit. And I like that was what I think you needed to do the first time, and you fixed it on your own. There was like a sense of humor about you without, hitting her on the head with it. Is that true? Is that true?
Yes.
So my suggestion would be to find another scene. You guys work well together. I mean, you have the same manager. I think it's a good thing. And I would say, maybe if you think a little bit about what you want to work on as far as what habits or characters you're looking to flesh out and work on. I think, I've talked to each of you and we can talk more about it when we study privately, but if you have some thoughts or ideas, I think, Lorenzo, on your end, at least, I really want you to, I would almost say, we were talking about Training Day, like maybe there's a scene from Training Day, where Denzel flips out, or even Ethan Hawke flips out. I need to see you flip out. Somebody who does snap. Okay, because that's what we're longing for to have footage of. Isn't that correct? So you're doing this thing very well, where it's all in the eyes and it's intense. I want to see what happens when that guy gets pushed.
Absolutely.
And dangles you off of a bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging you off of the Golden Gate Bridge and you're going, please don't let me go. And I'm saying, this is fun. What? It's okay.
Yeah,
You know?
for a change,
I want to
yes.
see you flip out. So whatever scene
Yeah.
you find, that's where I would go. And something that you come unglued. And maybe this is something where, you know, I don't know what the scene is. Maybe it's something else, but Georgia, maybe it's something where you're putting him in his place. Maybe it's a husband and wife. Maybe it's a cop and somebody else, but like laying into him, really unload on him, and let's see the power that you can bring. Because I've seen you play the vulnerable and I've seen you play the tender. So let's see what happens when you play the attacker. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
So really good job, you guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate
All right,
you.
way to
Thank
go.
you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.